Hi guys, I'm speaking softly because I want to tell you about something important. Some of you have been suspecting and are worried. I think I got the comments yesterday, 2 comments, and since I've been making videos where I have health talks and mentioning cancer and other diseases, I'm mentioning that I have family members who died from cancer, or and some of you think it's me, as you've seen on the title. Yes, I've had relatives who died from cancer, like my paternal grandmother. She died from colon cancer. I wasn't close to her emotionally, but her house was just next to our house, almost like a duplex. And my mom's first cousin died from cancer too, just a few weeks ago, and he also had diabetes and something else. But as you've seen on the title, Michael has cancer. He just made a video, guys, and please watch it on Michael Soothing ASMR. Just made it. I think the title is "Now I Have Cancer, Ouch." It's, for me, I think that's incredible. He was able to make a video like that and make it funny. So yeah, his channel is Michael Soothing ASMR, guys. We've known something was wrong before, of course, especially Michael. And when he became 65, so that's March 16, then he started being covered by Medicare, and he applied for AARP, supplemental health insurance. So then after March 16, he was able to, he could go to the doctor and have practically everything covered. I don't think we've paid so far. No. And then, so he got the doctor, but the doctor was busy. And then almost 2 months ago, we went to the doctor. I always go in when he goes to the doctor, and he always follows me. So Michael has cancer. He has lymphoplasmacytic lymphoma, guys. It's a kind of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And the doctor, because Michael only wanted him to check his A1C, for diabetes, because before he had 8.6, and then the doctor told him, to make some changes in his diet and more exercise, and it went down to 7.2, I believe, and that was 4 years ago. Yeah. And Michael said, I bet it's now higher. But then he did the A1C. He had to fast for that one, and it was much better, 6.1. But the doctor wanted, since he's 65 now, he wanted Michael to make all blood tests, blood counts, deficiencies if he has vitamin and mineral deficiency. There was so much blood tests, guys. And I remember when we got the test, because if you have your own doctor, you see your things online. So he goes in, and so the doctor said, oh, we saw the blood results. Michael had low red blood cells, low platelets. Michael thought he had low white blood counts too, but it doesn't. And there's some kind of so the doctor was emailing Michael and was very worried. And at first the doctor said, oh, you'll have to go to the oncologist, guys. And then he said, oh, maybe it's multiple myeloma. And I remember I was so angry that the doctor said that, because he wasn't sure, of course, because he's not an oncologist. But before the doctor said anything about multiple myeloma, I was, of course, in denial. Michael was never in denial. Guys, he's a real rocket scientist and engineer in aerospace. I believe he only cried twice in these 6 weeks we've known. Oh no, it's almost 2 months now, and I've cried and cried. And I remember when we got the results, I even got angry with Michael, and I cried. I was angry and sad because I told him to not jump to conclusions. We don't know for sure. And yeah, I didn't like it that the doctor said it's not even multiple myeloma, but we thought that it was for I think 2 weeks, and I cried and cried. When I knew that Michael shouldn't be stressing, I would cry without him. And it was so hard because I thought Michael, and because Michael's strong, guys, so I couldn't believe it. We have always been praying and reading the Bible, but when we knew, we prayed even more. It's not that I was in denial. I was just hoping we could do this, fight this without chemotherapy. But he won't be doing a chemotherapy, guys. He will be doing a targeted treatment, targeted immunotherapy. He will use this drug daily, ibrutinib, and then twice he will be doing rituximab or rituximab. It's not chemo, it's almost chemo, but you won't go bald. You would only do it twice through IV. But the ibrutinib, it will be daily. So he has this Medicare and he has this AARP health insurance, and there's a foundation who can help us with a copay, so hopefully it's not very big, and I will be, the only problem is I'm willing to work a lot to pay, and I will do it just to pay the tablets. The problem is I want to be close with him, like every day I want to be with him. So hopefully the copay won't be so high, and we will sell the other house. That is the reason, guys, we will be in this house, because this house is in a bigger town. We're so close to the clinic. The other one, the river house, there's a clinic there, but it's not so good. And we will be close to the other town, that is the Cancer Institute. I was so sad when we knew, people say ignorance is a bliss, but I was so afraid, guys. I was talking with God and I was praying. I was like, I didn't tell him, oh God, if you heal my girl, I will do this. No, I promised God some things. I would do this, I will be kinder to that person, I will do this, and so I was trying to bribe God, because I can't imagine living without Michael. The only reason I came here to the States was because of him. Like, even though Maria loves being here, even though Maria felt like an American even before coming here, I wouldn't come here if it was not for Michael. So it felt like, why then? Why am I here then, God? I was talking with God, like, why did you make it happen if you will just take him away from me? Every time we would go, and we have been going to the clinic so many times. Michael said 12 times, but I think it's more than that. Like, he's done so many blood tests, and he also did a CT scan, the bone marrow thing. He couldn't believe that I was watching, but he wasn't facing me. He was lying on the tummy, and he was so stoic, guys, because it still hurt, even though I gave him Oxy, one of our before the procedure, and then they gave him 3 shots of another numbing agent. But yeah, I was so afraid when they did it, but I have my poker face, and I have it always, guys. And they think I was so brave, but inside, I made the sign of the cross. I was so afraid something would happen, guys. But Micah's bones are so hard, so it went well. After just one day, the wound, the prick where they had to remove the bone marrow to check, to verify if it's really lymphoplasmacytic lymphoma. Oh my God, it was a corkscrew this high. My God, I'm not even sure I could do that, guys. So Michael is so strong. And the doctor, the oncologist, even had a hard time doing that because his bones are so hard. Thank God. Thank God for that, guys, because that won't be good if you have fragile bone. So everything went well, and so they verified it's cancer. And I remember when the doctor called after that, I was so sad. I was trying my best not to cry, but while the doctor was telling Michael in the phone, I was sobbing. I don't think, I'm not sure, but I don't think the doctor saw I was crying, but because it was just so final, even though we saw, because they show it online, you know, guys. Michael has his own login, so we knew a little bit, but hearing it from the oncologist was just too much. I don't know how I will survive without Michael. When I was growing up, of course I was bonding with my mom, my sisters, a little bit with my dad, and of course I bonded to my grandparents, my maternal grandparents. But you know, you grow up, you're not with them anymore, you quarrel. But when I got Maria, I bonded with her, and when Michael found me on YouTube, I bonded with him, and it's so strange, guys. You know our story, we are so similar. We're both Aspies, we're both analytical. I'm not an emotional person, guys. I love solving problems, but this one I can't solve. The only thing I can do is to continue with the anti-cancer diet and exercise we're doing, just to, you know, to make his body stronger. And he's not going to do a chemo treatment, so, but I don't know. Like, I have been trying my best, as you know, guys. I have my perimenopause, so sometimes the hormones goes up and down. So I've been trying my best not to stress him, and I'm trying to have that attitude, to be more positive than I am, to trust God, and not think so much, and just think that God will spare him and make him live longer. And I was praying to God to give him at least 20 years, that I will do my best to give him more people would believe in him. Yes, I am bribing God. I have already helped Maria find God, so that's already one person. And so another thing I will do is, because when Jesus came, he said there's only 2 commandments you should do, you have to do, and it's to love God and love others, love your neighbor. So Michael also got this blood transfusion, guys, and he got red blood cells because he is so low, and then the IgM, and my God, it's like it saved his life because now he's so pink, and he's so much more energetic. And after he got that, it was like we were in denial again, because it felt like there's nothing wrong with him, but he has cancer cells in his bone marrow, guys, in his blood. So we can't really be in denial. It's really there, and we're just trying not to focus so much with it, and just, doing our normal stuff. I really hope that the foundation would pay most of the copay, so I don't need to be away from Michael. It's hard, guys, because even when I sleep, I touch him, and just to check if he's still alive. And twice I thought he was cold, but because he was having the flu like for 2 weeks now, but he is healing, so that's good. But I remember while he was having the fever, I was checking, and it was cold. I forgot we had the aircon on, so of course it would be cold, but I was like sleepy and checking, and I screamed, and I think he said, oh, I think he thought I was having a nightmare. But then I told him the next day that I thought he was dead. So the next time I was touching him again, and he was cold again, but he knew I was checking him, so he said, it's alright, I'm still here, I will live for a long time. So last night I was checking him, and he was warm, and I told Michael, please, when I am touching you, to move a little, because it doesn't move so much. It makes me remember when Maria was a baby. I was always checking if she was still alive, because when you have a baby, guys, you read all the articles, all the books, and they will tell you about sudden infant sudden death. So I was afraid for Maria until she was really 18. Like, really, guys, I'm serious. I'm feeling the same with Michael now. Like, I'm watching him like a hawk, and that's one of the reasons I love gardening, because it's not that I'm in denial while I'm gardening, but I can focus on something that is growing. It gives me hope. I'm always saying, oh babe, it will be yummy when this fruit, because it's blueberry plants, guys, And I'm so happy Michael is more positive than I thought he would be, even though he would complain, don't be so negative. It's really not negative, guys, but before we knew, of course, it's just natural you would be saying things like, oh, of course it's natural to be in that mood sometimes. But he was never angry. Like, if you watch his video, guys, he was never questioning God. And today I even told Michael, your body is so strong because you're already 65. And the way because, guys, Michael loves junk food. He loves, doesn't like so much, he doesn't like veggies. Fruit sometimes he would eat. So it's really, I told Michael, he helped save my soul by getting closer to God. So I think my purpose, the reason why I met him, is for me to save his body. I mean, I'm not saying I will cure his cancer, but I think with me cooking and buying fruits and veggies, I think I can help in making his body be stronger, so that, he won't experience so much side effects, or it won't be so hard for his body to recover. I believe that treatment will make him stronger. At first they said that it will give side effects, but then it will be better when he has accustomed to the tablets. And I hope he won't be having so much side effects. It won't, like I said, it won't be getting bald. It's not that. And he can have meds to counteract the side effects. Michael is a good person, is a very good person, is a very good husband, and I'm not saying just because he's a good person then he shouldn't have cancer, or yes, I am saying that, but I'm not saying, oh, if you're a bad person you should be punished, because we're not just living in this world, guys. We will be judged afterwards. But since he's a good person, I want him to be rewarded in this life too. My advice to you guys is, which I will be doing too in August 15, is to go to your doctor, have blood test, let them do A1C is very good for diabetes, and then blood count, red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and also deficiencies. I've had the deficiency testing before. So I think that's a good idea to check that, because if you have something, then they will see it right away. Because for cancer, it's really the best to catch it in the earliest stage. When I met Michael, 4 years ago. Was it 4 years? Yeah, 4 years ago. I thought I had my suspicions on him being sick somehow, but I thought mostly it was connected to his diabetes. I was suspecting it like I had a gut feeling something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong. I was hoping whatever it was, we would cure with nutrition. Of course, it's not enough with nutrition and exercise, guys. If you have cancer in your family, or if there's something in your environment, like for example with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and you use Roundup, or if you've been exposed to asbestos, or you've been flying so much because of radiation can cause cancer. So, and also you need to have a genetic, not all of us would get cancer, like 60% of us won't get cancer even with every risk. And especially with lymphoplasmacytic lymphoma, it's not really, I mean, you still need to have that gene, that cancer gene, but some things can trigger it, like what I said, it can trigger. And of course, if you've never used Roundup or anything that would trigger, and your diet and exercise is perfect and your weight is perfect, we've read so many books, we've done so many research and read so many studies, and in some of the studies it says that low vitamin D can be a cause, but my guess vitamin D is good. It said that obesity can be a connection, but he needs to lose some weight so that he will just, he will have a better weight. But it's not that high compared to, if you're morbidly obese. So it's not enough what you read in books. Don't be so hard on yourself, especially to the one who has cancer. Don't blame that person. It's hard to not do. It's hard to not be anal, because like for me, I was really hoping we could just do the diet and exercise thing, but for this cancer, you can't really do it without a treatment, or you will die like fast. If you don't, not fast like within weeks, but you have to treat it. What ibrutinib will do is that it will kill the cancer cells, not the healthy cells. That's why it's immunotherapy. And the other one, Rituxan, it will make the cancer cells not reproduce. So combining the two is very good. At first, when we didn't know what it was, I was panicking. I was always crying when I would be, even before he did the blood test, sometimes I would be crying on my own. Because Michael has been so tired. Even before we met, he's been so tired. And then the last year now, he's been more and more tired. And I guess I could feel something was wrong. I just didn't know what. And he was tired, and and not be talking so much. But now that we know what it is, it feels better, guys. We have more hope now. I know that sounds weird. I like if we go to the doctor and the doctor will say something, I would still be crying. Not in front of the doctor. I'm trying my very best to be stoic. But when we come home, that's when I cry. But now that we are like just waiting for the treatment, it feels good to know what will happen. So I made this video so that you will know, because it's so hard to keep a secret. So if you are feeling bad, if you're not feeling like before, go to the doctor, have it checked out. I know there are some YouTubers who said no to chemotherapy. That's really up to you what you do. The chemotherapy will kill all your cells, almost all of your cells, without killing you. So there are targeted chemotherapy or immunotherapy. I would recommend that, because there's more hope there, because then the cancer cells are killed and your healthy cells has a better chance of reproducing and crowding out the cancer cells. I'm happy I made the video because now we have a name for it. We are still saying anti-C. We mean anti-cancer. We don't like the word cancer. But in some ways, I'm not saying it's a good thing he got that. I won't ever say that. But in many ways, we're closer now. I'm just hoping and praying that, it will all be good with the financing so that I can be with him. But even if I'm going to work, I would just work like 24 hours a week or 3 times a week, 3 days a week. I later will make a video, guys, with being a blood donor. That's one of the things I want to do, to pay, what do you call it, pay forward, because Michael feels so good with the blood transfusion he got. So hopefully I can be a blood donor. You have to have an appointment first to see if they approve you, and I have my papers, my medical things in my bag, so I will make another video. Sorry I didn't eat anything. It's just that it's so late now. It's almost, is it 1 o'clock now? I don't want to eat anything then. And since this is a serious topic, we are much better now, guys. It made me cry a little bit because I could remember how it felt before. I was panicking, but we are feeling much better. We are doing things to avoid so that he won't get sick, from flu or cold. So instead of going to church, we are just reading the Bible, we are praying. So that's what we are doing, guys, just so he won't be sick unnecessarily. So yeah, I do hope you like this video. And yeah, please go to Michael's channel, Michael Soothing ASMR and watch his video. Okay guys, I love you.